let's actually develop a strategy for it, right? And that's part of financial planning. Um, Consider estate planning. Okay, this is something that a lot of people have questions on, and they don't always get the answers that they want. Um, Part of it is just simple titling stuff, right? Do you have a POD on your checking account, right? If something happened to you and it's just your checking account and most of the money goes into your checking account, right? How are the bills going to be paid? So let's go ahead and just make sure that there's a POD on your checking account. Is You have a brokerage account, right? You opened up at Interactive Brokers, and it's just in your name, right? And all of a sudden, what became a little hobby now has 100, $200,000 in there. If something did happen to you, right, and your spouse or significant other or somebody needed access to those funds, could they get access to them? Well, I mean, if it's just in your name, then they have to go through the whole probate process, figure out what the probate judge says. Then you have to submit that court documentation to Interactive Brokers, who will go ahead and kind of do what the court says. Well, maybe that's not your intention, right? Maybe you're just like, hey, I want my wife to have this, or I want my significant other, or I want this person to be in charge of my finances at this point in time. Putting a simple TOD on the account is going to take care of that. We get into more complicated situations, right? What if this is your second marriage and you have kids on both sides of the marriage? If that's a situation, right? If one spouse passes away, right, it could basically disinherit the kids from the individual passed away, and all the assets could go to the other side of the family. That may have not been the intention, right? But titling matters, especially when we're dealing with more complicated situations like that.